Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of Monstober, which is going to be a dedicated month to everything Monsters Ball. Of course, we're going to go ahead and cover into a few things that are going to be in there for like the different comps that we just came from. Obviously, you guys know we just came from Big Ben Beardsmen, their Beards on the Bin competition this past weekend. We have been sharing out a bunch of pictures and whatnot. If you guys didn't make it, it was such a great time. We were able to raise $8,000 in that weekend for Square One, which is a domestic violence home and a safe haven for people that have suffered from domestic violence. Big shout out to Travis Drenner, Ricky Heisel, and the rest of Big Ben Beardsmen for putting on such a wonderful comp and raising a lot of money. It was a great time, and I'm glad that we were able to do some things. Hey, Kyle, how are you? So, rolling into that, we of course got Big Whisker Revival, and we'll talk more about that towards the end of the show tonight. But it's going to be a great weekend. If you can make it out to Newport, Kentucky this weekend, I would highly recommend. Now, of course, it's time for our interesting bearding fact of the week. So, having facial hair was so important to the Victorians that many men were compelled to purchase false mustaches and whiskers, some of which actually had springs in them to naturally form to the face. Meanwhile, the army during that time handed out goat hair mustaches and to recruits who couldn't grow facial hair themselves. It's kind of fun because, like, when you're talking about Victorian era, you're kind of leaning more towards England, and that ties into our guest tonight. Our guest, of course, is a two-time world chops champion. He is very well known for his favorite word. Speaking of which, if you guys have not, we are still running the competition for the first 10 minutes of the show tonight. If you can make a guess on how many times he says the word cunt in the show tonight, you will win a special prize, a wonderful care package that's being sent in to me from Mad Viking Beard Club. So big shout out to Jason Seelan, Jason Hall, and Mad Viking crew for giving me this prize. I should have it in my hands by Monday, which means I will be shipping it out at the early part of next week. Super excited for that. It'll be a bottle of beard oil it's the Valhalla flavor. It's my personal favorite, and it's the one that I use on a regular basis. If you guys not had a chance to try it, here's your chance to get some. But without further ado, to kick off Monstober, I bring you the one, the only, Michael Wallage.
Good evening, America. How the devil are you?
Hey, brother.
Hey.
So I had to kind of build you up. I've been kind of holding this in my back pocket now for a little bit. I've been super excited. We've been talking about this for almost a month now.
Wow.
Like me and you have been back and forth trying to get this time set up. It's great to have you on. I really do appreciate it because I know it's midnight over there right now. And I'm sure you and Kay are going, what the hell is going on?
But 21 hours I've been up today so far. So if I fucking well nod off halfway through.
Hey, and you know what? Don't worry, we'll give you a wake up call if that comes out. So if you guys are on and you guys are seeing this, this is the one, the only Michael Wallage. He's my favorite cunt. Which I know is and on cue. We've actually set up a great little thing for this because if you've spent any time watching Mick's Facebook page and seeing how he interacts, his favorite word that he uses is cunt, which in America gets a really negative connotation, but for Mick, it's actually a term of endearment most of the time. And he's been banned from Facebook multiple times, been thrown into Facebook jail. I'm actually really happy that he's not in Facebook jail currently, because that might cause some other complications. Then again, we might be in Facebook jail by the end of the night. We're going to have to find out. So with that being said, though, we have set up something that we are calling the Cunt's Corner, which is strictly for Michael Wallage. And we have set up a little counter. For every time he says it, we're going to go ahead and hit that button and see how many times it racks up. With the competition, though, if you make a guess and it's right on how many times it gets said throughout the episode, you guys will win the prize. So if you guys want, for the next 10 minutes, put it in the comments. We'll be able to pull it from there and have some fun.
Do you know what I said to Mrs. Chops before we came on here tonight? I said, do you know what? I might not even say cunt once. I might just not say cunt all night. And then they'll have to send me the beard oil because Valhalla's my favourite as well.
Well, I'm glad that we have great taste, and I mean, if you need a bottle, I will be more than happy. So if you want to make you want to take the shot at this, I'll allow it.
I think I might say it. Ooh, that many times.
Oh, okay.
Oh dear. So,
Kyle, should have changed my guess. Should change my guess to 15. So, but no, once again, man, I really do appreciate you coming on tonight. This is super exciting that we can be out here and have some fun.
Well, it's my pleasure. Do you know what? We love you guys to bits. It's coming over and competing in America is a totally different experience. You guys just blow us away. You know how to do beer competitions.
Yeah, you know, it's actually funny that you bring that up. We'll go straight into that part because that's something that me and you've talked about quite a bit over the last little bit is the difference between American comps and British comps, or actually really European comps, because there's a very big difference on how we approach things versus how you guys approach things.
Yeah.
What would you say the biggest difference is?
It's, I'm trying to be politically correct. It's a little more raucous across the pond, and that's how we like it. You know, here in the UK, we're a little bit staid, a little bit polite. You guys will jump up and down, jump up and down on a table, and we the English are sat there, you know, jolly well done, good show. So we enjoy them. Don't get me wrong, we enjoy the English comps too, and we're trying to convert them, but you know,
I hope to eventually make it to an English comp. So, because honestly, like, I love the American comps. We have a lot of fun here, but just for an experience sake, I really want to give that a shot and see what that's going to be like. If they'll have my big ass over there at some point.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. We'd love to see you. We'd love to see you at our competition.
You know what? Beard On sounds like a lot of fun. I've heard you talk about it 100 times. Hey, Vicky. Look at that. Vicky. We got Vicky on. And we'll be seeing Vicky, of course, at the end of this month for Monsters Ball. I'm super excited about that. We don't get to see them. I try to talk to Vicky at least a few times a month because she is probably one of the most positive people I've ever met in my life.
Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. We love Vicky. I didn't call her a cunt.
No?
I didn't call her a cunt once. Never. She's too nice.
She is one of the sweetest people that I have ever had the chance to meet. And if you guys have not followed Vicky Segaff on Facebook or anything like that, you guys really should. She will change your perspective on everything. And I know we're talking a lot about our guests right now, but I wanted to go ahead. I want to go ahead and give that out.
She is absolutely inspirational. She is.
We got Charms popping in.
Hi.
Let's see. I'm not that sweet. Yes, you are, Vicky. Until she's not had her coffee. That's the thing with Vicky. You got to catch her. You got to catch her after she's had her morning coffee. Post coffee. You're another one that you got to catch post coffee most of the time.
Sorry.
So I said that you're another one that you got to catch most of the time and post
Oh,
coffee.
no. I'm a grumpy cunt all the time. Absolutely. Nobody wanted to be near me today. We thought we got everything covered, and then the brown, smelly stuff hits the fan, and we've been running around like a headless chicken since 7 o'clock this morning. So
Yeah,
it's all good. It's all good. Shit happens.
I know when I talked to you earlier this afternoon, evening for you, you guys were already kind of going through the craziness with
Yeah, I mean
the council or the board members. So
it's always the same. We love doing it, but in the 2 days coming up to it, we absolutely fucking hate it. It is what it is, you know. Nothing ever runs smoothly. Nothing ever runs the way you think it's going to do. But when you've been doing it a little while, you just roll with it. Just roll with it and do your best. You can't do more than your best, can you?
No, you hit the nail on the head. You know, it's funny. I talk to a lot of people that are getting ready for their comps and everything else, and that's always kind of the common consistency. Excuse me, across the board is that right before comp time, like a day or two before, everyone's running around like a chicken with their head cut off, and like I always feel bad because I pop in, ask questions, see how they're doing, and they're like, I'm going crazy. And
I've been like a bear with a sore head all day. Anybody asks me anything, I'll growl at them, fucking bite them first. I've been horrible. I've been a total, absolute first class cunt.
But we love you for it. So, and it's understandable.
Well,
and
I know my faults. You know, it is what it is. The job gets done at the end of the day, but yeah.
So, I'm sorry, Vicky. I meant the pink drink. My bad. So, she's got to have her pink drink on her. So, in getting in preparation for this interview, because I like I said, I've been excited, been looking up and trying to get everything lined up perfectly for this. We actually did a lot of deep diving into your early stages and your early comings into the bearding community, and found some really cool pictures and some pictures that you may not be proud to see.
Do any of them involve turkey?
Possibly. You have to just kind of wait and see. So I actually got a whole slew of pictures that we're gonna bring up, and we're gonna kind of let you kind of tell us a little bit about what some of this is going on. Some of these are promo pictures. Some of these are just straight up ones that we found from your early days, and we're gonna use that as a way to kind of get into that. Look at this. We got the meme up here.
Baby
black pants.
I'm still pretty though.
Definitely. And as I said, it looks like a little bit of a styled stash in that. Let's see.
I think there might have been a bit of wax involved in that one by the looks of it.
I would hope so. Otherwise, it might be a little weird. Did you find bacon grease? I've heard bacon grease works well.
Really? See, I'm not allowed bacon anymore. I'm too fat.
So this looks like an early stage. Like obviously your chops are way longer than that now. So I'm just kind of curious. Like, how did you decide to get into the bearding world?
Oh wow, there's quite a backstory. Cutting it short.
No, say what you need to say. Tell your story.
I had a really serious accident about 20 years ago. Prior to that, I was a gym bunny. I was in the gym minimum 5 days a week. I used to compete in amateur bodybuilding competitions, and I smashed my legs really badly. One leg was broken in 13 places. There was talk about amputation at that point. And I thought, shit, what am I going to do now? I was driving a truck, an 18-wheeler. I worked on the doors as security doorman, whatever you guys call it, at the weekend. Everything that I was doing was finished. And I sat at home. I vegetated. I was in a wheelchair for 18 months. They managed to rebuild my legs. Took 10 operations over 9 years. While I was convalescing from one of the first operations, from an early operation, I just happened to come across a program on the TV called Whisker Wars. And I saw the likes of Arnie Bielefeld, Jack Passion up there. And I thought, do you know what? Even if I'm stuck in this wheelchair now for the rest of my life, at that point, I didn't know if I was going to keep my left leg. I thought I can still grow a reasonable beard. And I grew Tuttle off Orange County Choppers. I grew a moustache similar to his. So, and it didn't really fit into anything. It didn't fit into any of the categories. So I spoke to David Dade, who's the president of the British Beard Club, and I said, well, this don't fit anything. What do you suggest? And he suggested growing the sides in and joining it up, and that was how it started. Little baby mutton chops.
So how long did it take you to grow to this picture?
I can't. Probably, that looks like it's about a year in to me. Probably a year in.
That's good length for a year. I understand. Like this is a year in maybe 4 months, maybe 5 months.
Yeah, it might be a bit longer. It could be 18. I can't. Do you know?
Obviously, yeah. I mean, you left that behind like what, 7, 8, 9 inches ago. So.
Yeah. I don't know how long it is now. I don't measure very often. But funny thing, everybody talks about terminal length, and I'm nearly 10 years in now, and I still seem to be growing very slowly, but it still appears to be growing. So, I don't know. Oh, hello, you.
Oh, I was fixing to roll into this one.
Now then.
Now that looks like the early stages of John Bull right there, with the bull horns for the chops and the styled.
Yeah, we tried that a couple of times. I'm not. Do you know? It's okay, but I'm not a big fan of freestyling the damp. Well, I probably need to learn more about freestyling, but all those chemicals going on your beard, I'm not a fan. I won't be doing it again very soon.
That's fair. I get that. Like freestyle is definitely not my speed. 100% understand that one. I tried, like, just from looking at it and like kind of figuring it out, and I was like, I'll just stick to my styled stash. So
yeah. Plus the fact I look a bit of a cunt in that anyway. Look at it.
It really doesn't favor you. I will say that.
No, not one of my proudest moments, to be honest with you.
But there's some great pictures going forward here, so we've got some really cool ones coming up. This is probably my favorite one.
Yeah, that was done at Truro Cathedral, I believe. There was a little gate there. It was unlocked, so I just popped behind it. Kind of looks like I'm in prison. Facebook prison.
Yeah. This is the origin story of how Facebook prison started for you. So we got a few more people chiming in. Miss Debbie and Chris.
Hi, Deborah.
So, we got Chris coming in.
How are you?
Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. You've been there a few times.
Oh, I think that's a. Do you know it's not cunt? It's not saying cunt that lands me in prison anymore. It's stuff from like 10 years ago. And I'm serious on that. I'll open my Facebook up one morning. Oh, we found a post that you posted 8 years ago, and it goes against that. You fuck off, you cunts. You've changed community standards 4 times since I posted that. It's just, I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Well,
It
at least they're
is.
finally understanding who you are, and they're like, oh, well, he's just going to say it. So
Yeah, he's just a cunt. We'll let the cunt get on with it. That's. I think they've probably got fed up with me by now. I've done 3 months without doing a stretch, so you know, perhaps they've just got fed up.
That is honestly like my favorite picture, though. One of my favorite. There's a few in here that I'm actually a big fan of, but I love that one. This
that's
one, I
Monsters
was
at Conneaut Lake, I believe. That one, I love that one.
You got the whole zombie thing going on, and looks like
Yeah.
John Bull made an appearance for that. So
Yeah, I remember that one. That hotel was amazing, but a strange thing happened in that hotel. Supposed to be haunted.
Brian says, just leave the turkeys alone.
I'm just stuffing. Actually, it wasn't far away from where I'm sat now, where I had my private moment with a turkey, to be honest. Just about over that way a little bit. I'm sure the turkey still remembers it.
You know, I'm terrified, but yet compelled to ask the story. So.
Kay bought one of these turkey hats that sings and dances. She brought it home from a shopping trip, and I just disappeared into the bedroom. She sat there on the sofa, and I came back butt naked, but for the turkey bit, strategically placed. Well, she did. I never thought. She picked the phone up, followed me into the kitchen. She said, "Wallage, what the fuck are you doing?" I said, "Babe, I'm stuffing the turkey." Well, she pissed herself and then posted it on Facebook, which surprisingly enough didn't get me a ban straight up. Do you know what they banned me for on that, though? When it had 11.5 million hits. But then after 11.5 million, I guess they figured enough people had seen it, then they banned me for sexual activity. Nah.
Brian, they banned you for sexual activity.
Yeah.
Was that your first Facebook jail?
Oh, no. Loads more before that. I've lost count.
And I love this picture too, because I love the black and white, and
I like that.
To me, I love black and white anyway. It's a classy look, and I'd say it's a really good shot. And I'm guessing that's Monsters Ball as well.
Yeah, that'll be Conneaut Lake. Yeah,
there's a lot of good ones.
Oh, I love that one. That was at the British, not the last one. Probably about 4 or 6 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago, I think. And it was giving it from around.
There we go. Cadillac Ranch. That's what Mickey said. Cadillac Ranch. I'm guessing that was the Monsters Ball.
Oh. No, that's not Monsters Ball, because there's a
I'm not sure.
There's a German guy stood there behind me, and I don't think he was at that one.
I think she was talking about the Halloween pictures.
Oh, right, the Halloween. Right, I'm wrong. Sorry. I'm not very clever. I'm a bit of a thick cunt.
It's okay. We still love you for it. So speaking of that, because you've got so much going on, and one of the questions I usually ask people is their favorite category. I think that's pretty obvious with you, what you like to compete in. But do you have a category that's your favorite to watch?
I love to watch freestylers. I can't do it. Yeah, I can't do it. I don't like it. For me personally, but the dedication and the hours that those guys put in, It's absolute. I really wish I could do it, and I wish I could do it safely so it didn't destroy my beard. I don't know how they do it. Perhaps I should learn. But
Honestly, some of the great ones there. And Mr. Yukon from Beard Mob chiming in. Hello, sir. How are you?
how are you, Danny?
I met him in Nashville for the first time, and he's one of my favorite people. If you've not had a chance to meet him yet, I hope you do get to at some point. This is probably the classiest photo I've seen for somebody doing chops. It's a great shot of you, and it definitely shows your prowess, so to speak.
I think that was done at a photo shoot ran at a good excuse me, a good friend of mine called John Thompson, who does a lot of the photography work at many competitions around the UK. And I tell John every time, I said, John, I think if I were batting for the other side, I'd marry you, mate. I said, he always makes me look pretty. I've never had John. He's never, ever taken a bad photograph of me. I love that look to bits.
Chris Wesson says you're a sexy motherfucker. So
I know. It's a cross that I have to carry.
And then, of course, Deb says very classy. And then Danny, doing pretty good, brother. I hope everything's well on your end. I hope to see you this weekend. I don't know if you're going to make it up to Big Whisker, or if you really want to get a chance to spend some time with Mr. Wallage. He's going to be at Monsters Ball this year up in Pittsburgh.
We're so excited about that. We can't wait to get out there again.
I'm super excited to have you guys there.
I've just seen this next picture pop up. Yeah, just in case anybody didn't know I was a cunt, somebody decided we better print it on his forehead. And we actually, I think I did the entire competition like that, to be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't surprise me. Where was this competition at? Because the gentleman next to us looks familiar, and I'm trying to plan it out and trying to figure out who he is. I just can't place him.
That was at a fundraiser that we did in the local pub for, let me get it right, Beating Bowel Cancer for their December campaign, I believe. Cool, it's got to be a few years ago. Tony.
He's got a nice beard. I was trying to picture him. I was like, he looks so familiar.
Mr. Cause. He's known as Mr. Cause.
Mr. Cause.
I think he's rather fond of Cause beer, I believe.
Bearded Palooza looks like it's going to be a great time. Sorry, I'm not going to make that one, but we will definitely have to link up here again soon. Vicky, thank you for jumping on. We love you, and I will see you in a couple weeks. So, and I know Mr. Wallage and Kay will be seeing you as well. So,
is that all it is? It is, isn't it? It's like 25 days till we're hopping across the pond again.
Yes, sir. As Brian just pointed out, we get the first time in 3 years that you guys will be at the at Monsters Ball, and
that was all down to that fucking COVID bollocks. Yeah. And we would have come. To be honest, we would have come over, but you wouldn't let us in. So that's scuppered that.
But it's over now. We can get into it, and we can definitely get you guys back.
It's all done.
I'm excited to have you guys here. This is my first Monsters Ball, and
really?
Yes, sir. Me and Haley will be making the trek for our first time since joining with the club. I'm super excited.
Oh, you're going to love it. And you know when the two Jasons get on the microphone together up there on stage, and they bounce off each other so well.
Yeah, that they
It
do.
really
They're
is.
they're just a ball of energy. The whole.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I tell you, I'd love to get the two Jasons to come over and compare a competition over here, because
One of
they'd
these
just put
days, I
me
think
to
that's a
smile.
possibility.
Well,
So
that'd be really cool.
yeah, and then we've got the trading cards. As Andrew, our my executive producer and my probably one of my best friends in the world, he he's
Mm.
got he's got the trading cards pulled up. And Corey, thank you for chiming in tonight. I really do appreciate that. As Chris has just said, you can see he said it was the biggest cunt ever
How
for
many times
COVID.
have I said cunt so far? Oh, I've just said it
Uh,
again.
Yep. So we're up to
Bugger.
15 right now.
15.
So
Who's closest so far?
so far we've got a kind of a tie. I think actually I want to say that Mr. Taxi Phil is probably the closest to you right now. I'm not
Oh,
going to
I'm not
reveal the
saying it
number.
then. No, that's it. Well done, Phil.
He still
One
haven't
of
hit
my
his threshold, but
one of my favourite guys over there. Love Phil to bits. We don't see him often enough.
I've seen him quite a bit lately. It seems he does a lot of travel. Oh yes, one of my favorites.
That
This is like a Sweeney Todd nod, and I love
that
it.
that's the only way I can get her to remain quiet.
Ah,
You've not met Mrs. Chops yet. Have you spoke to Mrs. Chops on video at all?
uh, just a few times that she's chimed in when me and you were on.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, she's
where's
always
she at?
chiming in.
Where's she at?
She's in bed at the minute.
I was going to say.
Just the other side of this wall here, so she can probably hear everything I'm saying. That
You might want
again,
to.
yeah. We had a hell of a job. We had a hell of a job finding a ball gag big enough to fit, to be honest with you.
So I love that. That's a
Do you know what?
night.
That's the photograph that got me banned off Facebook as well. That's sexual content, believe it or not, according to Facebook.
Kinda, I could see that a little bit, but it's the ball gag. I think that's what really got you there. So
Yeah, maybe. Oh, and that, where was that?
I don't know.
That was
You
at the
tell
last
me.
competition. That was at the last competition that we held, I believe. There were two nuns there, and I couldn't resist the old beard mob thing. God, fuck you, you cunts. Oh, damn, Phil. Oh,
You still haven't hit his. You still haven't hit his threshold, so you're okay. So, I thought this was a really good photo. I'm surprised this one hasn't got you banned either. But so.
Yeah, they'll probably get round to it at some point, probably in about 5 or 6 years' time.
As Charms just said, there's no problem, but there's no problem with 50 Shades of Grey. Is he talking about the book, or is he talking about your chops? I'm not sure.
There's more grey in it than brown now. Still,
Hey,
it's still,
and they're still beautiful. So here
oh,
we
I
go.
love that one. I love that one. There's the old beard mob salute again.
Yes, sir. Who's this in the photo with you?
This is a guy who actually is, his name's Dan Silky Brown, and he is let me get this right, president of Beard Mob UK. That was our competition last year, and he took best in show with his full beard style moustache.
So I love the fact that you guys do that dapper style over there. And as somebody who does the dapper whenever I get the chance for competition, I definitely appreciate seeing it.
I love it. I just love getting dressed up and making a cunt out of myself. I get up on stage, I say stupid shit, I flaunt around and show off, and it's, you know, and we make money for charity at the end of the day, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, he does the mustache rollers. I actually have I've heard a lot about Silky. I think I even follow him on Instagram. I should definitely hit him up. From what I hear, he's a great guy. Let's see.
He is a lovely lad.
And my wife, of course, she's a little partial, saying I got a good mustache, but been doing well. So we're getting into, this is a good compilation.
That's a little collage I made up to promo our competition. They're all pictures from past and previous Beard On.
Yeah, and so I know that's going to be really fun because you guys got that coming up this weekend.
That's right, Saturday.
So why don't you give us a little bit of detail about the Beard On going on Saturday?
So we've got a competition at the Post Mill Centre, which is just down the road from us in South Normanton. I think we have got 8 or 9 categories. We've got, let's see what we've got. We've got moustache, we've got partial, we've got full beard natural up to 4, we've got full beard natural up to 8, we've got full beard natural over 8, full beard styled moustache. That's our best in show trophy that you see in there now.
It's gorgeous.
That's quite nice, that is, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
We changed that. That was St. George's Day, actually, a few years ago at the local pub. Good friend of mine, Sean Wilmot, was managing the pub at the time. Ex-Royal Artillery. Very, very, very patriotic guy. He asked me to go down and get dressed as John Bull and greet the customers as they're coming in and out. So that was a fun day. Actually, about 20 minutes after that photograph was taken, Eddie Izzard came walking down the road with a film crew with him, and I got some photographs there with Eddie's old boobies. Who's moving the cursor around the boobies?
That would be Andrew sitting in the background.
That's Mrs. Chops. One of the very, very few times that she's competed. And of course the twins.
Yeah, the twins. Can't leave out the twins, right?
Can't leave out that. I like the twins a lot.
Yeah, I understand.
I've been quite attached to them a few times.
So with Beard On coming up, so you guys are supporting a charity over this, obviously.
We are indeed. It's a really, really, really brilliant little charity. It's called Orchid, which is, the full title is Orchid Fighting Male Cancer. And they put money into research and helping guys that are suffering from testicular cancer, penile cancer, and prostate cancer. And the reason that we chose them, kicking Mrs. Chops' empties over there. The reason that we chose them, it's a small charity. It's run by 6 really dedicated fundraisers. There's no big headquarters in London that's draining resources. They all work from home. So a really big percentage of our money, the money that we raise to give to these guys, actually makes it to the front line. And I think that's really important, because so many of the big charities there, 40-50% of the money maybe is getting eaten up in overheads. So that's why we decided, this time, instead of, we've raised money, we've raised, I think we did £28,000 for beating bowel cancer. We've done a good amount for prostate cancer, but they're big charities. And we thought, this time around, we're going to try and give this money to somebody who's going to get more of the money on the front line, and the support that we've got from them as well in the short time that we've been working together has been really fantastic, far better than we got from any of the big charities. These guys are really dedicated and really nice people too. They've got one of their representatives coming along to talk about the charity at Beard on Saturday. We couldn't ask for more support than they're giving us, which is amazing.
So it's one of those things. Like when I first got into the bearding world, I started looking about the charities and the work, and a lot of people like to choose. Like when I first started looking into the community and seeing the competitions and the fundraisers, they were choosing bigger names. But it does seem like a lot of the way is kind of moving to the community and focusing on the local community or the smaller charities, because you make a bigger impact. And
that's right.
And honestly, I think that's great. And like we just raised money, like I said at the beginning of the episode, this weekend in Pomeroy, Ohio, for Beards on the Bend. We raised $8,000 for Square One.
That is amazing.
It's phenomenal. And then I know this weekend we've got the Barracks Project, which is at Big Whisker Revival. Super excited about the way that's going to play out. They've done some, the Barons and Taxi have done wonderful things, and they always put on a great show, and they always raise a good amount of money. But they chose a smaller charity just so they can have a bigger impact and be able to, kind of get that money to the front line, like you said.
Yeah, I think that's really important, especially with how things are economically, both this side of the pond and your side of the pond, because I'm sure your guys are feeling the pinch as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I think it is time to sort of start supporting each other on a more local basis, because things are bad, and from what I'm seeing on the news and the media, both here and across the pond, things are only going to get worse.
Yeah. Oh,
now
Andrew,
we might have a bit of a problem coming up shortly, because I've just hit 20% on my battery on my phone.
Okay, well, we can wrap up, or if you can find a charger.
Well, I'll keep going. I'll keep going until it dies on me. But if I disappear, that's why.
I mean, that would be very fitting, just Mr. Wallage just kind of fades to black. But so
no, I'm always going to stay here. They'll never get rid of this cunt.
There you go, Andrew. He finally said it again. So
few people have tried.
Look, I really am grateful that you were able to come on, and I got a few more questions, of course, especially since we're talking about Beard on for the most part. So I know that you've been very involved in the preparations for this, and you guys have been very hard at it. Like earlier today, you were on the phone with me, and then you were on the phone with the board member, with one of the board members, or Kay was, and trying to kind of bounce back and forth. What do you say has been the hardest part about putting together the competition so far?
Sponsorship has been a little bit tricky this time around. As I alluded to a few minutes ago, everybody's feeling the pinch. The most difficult bit for me is actually the logistics on the day. I'm fairly competent at organising, at getting sponsors in place, at organising the categories, at doing the running orders, at getting all the sort of officey bits, the behind the scenes bits. But when it comes to running around the place on the day, that's where my legs let me down. So the hardest bit for me really is that the day of the event. I'll dose myself up on painkillers before I go, and I'll do what I can. Generally, I'll manage throughout the day, and then probably take 2 or 3 days afterwards to recover from it. But when it's something you're passionate about, then all that goes out the window. But yeah, the hardest bit for me is the on the day logistics, getting round, getting people to where they should be, getting everything moving along smoothly.
And honestly, like I think that's I think a lot of people that are organizing and hosting comps will definitely agree that the day of the event is usually when you're the most erratic, trying to make sure everything's in the right place.
Yeah,
I myself have not felt that pain yet. Maybe at some point down the road I'll get involved on an event for that. I do a lot more on the I do a lot more of the attending than I do the actual organizing.
I think you've got to have a bit of a masochistic streak to do it. Actually, the first 2 years that we did it, we said no, never doing that again. And then 2 weeks down the line, it's shall we have another go? And you learn a little bit every time. That first one is an absolute nightmare. The second one gets a little bit easier. Things that go wrong, you put plans in place to make sure that doesn't happen again. And the more that you do, I'm not saying it's easy, but the more that you do, the easier it gets. And we're at that point now where most of it just flows. And then you come to the end, to the last few days, the last couple of weeks, and you're going through everything. Oh shit, I've not done so and so. And it's just the odd silly little things that catch you out. Like we've had record entries for this competition. And today I thought about digging the lanyards out with the numbers, and I thought, oh shit, we ain't got enough fucking lanyards. So I'm running around buying lanyards, and the little pockets that the cards go in at 5 o'clock tonight when everywhere's shut. So, but we got there in the end. I made a phone call, and a friend of mine had got some, so we're all good. Problem solved. And I think that's right. What a lot of it is about, problem solving, because everything goes on. I mean, we even had the caterers cancelled on us 2 days before the event.
Oh no!
But we managed to. Well, we have a big fun fair, a travelling fun fair that comes to Nottingham. It's been coming to Nottingham since like fucking 800 years ago. It's called Goose Fair. So all the catering vans are heading there because they can make big money. And I think they probably, I don't know, I'm second guessing this. I think they had a better offer and went somewhere else, to be honest. But we've got them replaced. It's all good.
So Brian says, have a good night and he'll see you soon, and to give love to the missus. I wouldn't recommend doing that right now because she might just go ahead and beat you senseless if you wake her up, if she's not already awake.
So. No, I'm too big of a cunt for her to come in here and start calling me fucking names.
So it sounds like you guys have managed to get everything put together.
I think we're good, but I think we're good. But come tomorrow, I'm sure another problem will pop up that we'll have to deal with. But nobody. If anything does go wrong, no, we're a cool act. We'll sort that out. Nobody will notice. It'll be seamless.
So, and as Yukon just brought up, it gets easier the bigger each comp can plan. So
yeah, it does. I absolutely agree with that, because that when you get caught out, is something goes wrong and you think, oh shit, I never thought about. Oh bollocks, no, I never thought about. The more you do, the more you realise what can go wrong, and you put something in place. We have backups for most things. You put something in place to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Right. All right, so we're gonna start kind of moving into wrap up since your phone's about dead. Uh, so we're gonna go ahead. I got a couple more questions for you. Biggest one that I want, and I love this question, is how was getting involved in the bearding community changed your life?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. As I mentioned earlier on in this interview, I was working on the doors, and various substances were available to lots of the doormen. I'm an ex-drug addict. If I'd have carried on down the path that I was on, I probably wouldn't be here now. So it's changed my life entirely. And you know what? Nearly losing my leg and being left disabled as I am now, if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have found bearding, and I wouldn't change anything. If it changed my life for the better. I've met so many absolutely amazing people that now really are family, people that will go the extra mile, people that I'd go the extra mile for. It turned my life around, honestly, seriously. Loads of people say, yeah, it's done. Literally, the bearding saved my life, because I do honestly believe if I'd have carried on down the path that I was on, I wouldn't be here now, and I certainly won't be travelling all over the globe attending beard competitions. That's a fact.
Look, and I'm glad that it did save your life. You know, like you are definitely my favorite person across the pond for sure,
Oh,
and
thank you.
I consider you family. Even though we've never got a chance to meet in person, the conversations we've had and just the short period of time that we've really gotten to talk has been very meaningful, and I count myself lucky to call you a friend, call you a family member, and call you a brother.
And
So
I can't, how did, because the one thing that you mentioned was, how did I get involved with Mad Viking? I'm so glad that I met them. It was after the Worlds in Austin when I took the first world title, and I was invited back to a party at their Airbnb. And that Mad Viking had turned everything around for me. I can't thank Mad Viking enough for what they've done. The two Jasons are out of this world. I've never
yeah,
met anybody with the generosity and the art that those guys have got.
when I started this show, I took it to Jason Sealand uh, first thing, and I said I wanted his opinion on it because I value his opinion, and his exact words were just fucking run with it and let's see what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. And the title of the show is what drew me to it, because there are beards without borders.
Bearding without
To,
borders.
sorry.
That's the bearding without borders name is
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
got stuck
Sorry,
on.
sorry. Bearding
No,
without
you're
borders,
good.
because there's too many too many little factions that are splitting off and falling out with each other. And this is what we need to do. Doesn't matter about political beliefs or which sex you stick your genitalia in or whatever, anything. Beards, we need to stick to, we don't need to be factioning and pulling apart. We all need to pull together for the benefit of everybody. And one,
100%.
we're seeing a lot of it in the UK, where there are little factions forming, and this faction doesn't talk to that faction, and it's just, we need to forget all that when it comes to the charity and the fundraising and the competitions. Forget all that, put that to one side, and pull together, and let's make some proper money. For you guys in America make so much more money for charity than we do. And one thing that I would love to see is all of the clubs here in the UK getting together, forgetting stuff that's gone off in the past. Doesn't matter about politics or club agendas, or just let's all pull together and make some serious money. That's what it's about, not silly little
100,
squabbles.
100% agree with you. And as Vicky said, well said. I couldn't have said it better myself. I'm great, and it's nice to hear like-minded individuals. And it's about the individual. It's about people coming together. It's not about the club at the end of the day. And that's something that I think some people kind of get lost in. And don't get me wrong, I love my club. I love every club that I get involved in. And this is a new thing. If you've not caught up with Beard Mob, what up Beard Mob are on Wednesday. LEO is equals love each other, and that's well said. And I'm going to definitely start adapting that hashtag in with what we do. It means a lot to me. I do got one. Go ahead.
We've all got to come together. We have all
Agreed.
got to come together and make this even better than it is now.
Agreed.
Because we can change things.
We can, as long as we work together. So, All right. Final question, and this is going to be a good one to kind of wrap up on, because I know your phone's probably getting lower and lower. And I asked you this once before, but I got to bring it on the show. I want either your guilty pleasure, that something that no one else knows about you that you just kind of keep to yourself and Mrs. K, or your most embarrassing moment.
Oh, wow. I've had a few embarrassing moments. There was one actually. We did a giant ice bucket challenge. This is in the December campaign, about 5 or 6 years ago. We did it in the town market square. Guy got a JCB with a bucket full of water. We were all in mankinis, and they dropped the bucket of water, and then the local press were there, and he wanted us round a Christmas tree, with some of us laid on the floor and some of us stood up behind. The local police were there, and so I was down on the floor and I was wet, and it was very cold. It was very, very cold. I think it was about -6, -7. When I went to get up off the floor, one of my testicles had frozen to the floor.
Oh.
Like you stick your tongue. Oh. You've seen that, where they stick the tongue on a lamppost? Yeah. So I'm trying to stand up with my spacky fat little legs, and one of my knackers has stuck to the pavement.
Oh, man.
Luckily, the local press didn't publish that photograph.
No, that would have been interesting to see. I'm just trying to picture the headline on that one. So
local man gets bollocks stuck to the pavement. Yeah, that was pretty embarrassing.
Oh, that's a good one. That is definitely a good one. I appreciate that. Cheers to you. So,
cheers, my friend.
All right. So, with that, is there anything you want to leave off on? We've had a few requests for people to get called cunts in the episode, but I will leave that. I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah, they're all cunts. Nice cunts. There's some nice cunts. There's nasty cunts. There's horrible cunts, fat cunts, skinny cunts, bald cunts, horrible cunts. They're all cunts in one way or another. Fuck you, Phil. You ain't got a cunting chance on that cunting cunt's corner now, cunt.
I think we're going to have to make that a sticker. I really do. I think we're going to have to do the cunts counter in the cunt corner right now. And you know what? I know me and you briefly talked about that. We're going to take some. If you guys would be interested in this, please chime in. We'll post it up. If you guys are actually interested in doing a sticker on this, we'll do some pre-orders, and half the proceeds will go to charity. And we will we'll let Mr. Wallage come back on the show, hopefully at Monsters Ball.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I'd love that.
we'll figure out where we want to go. We may even just hold it out and donate that money to the Pennsylvania Children's Hospital, which is, of course, Monster Ball's biggest charity that they do every year.
Perfect.
Go from there. What do you think?
That sounds like a plan.
So we'll have to do the Cunts Corner. If you guys are down for it, please hit us up in the comments and let me know what you guys think. Mr. Wallage, I know your phone's getting low. I want to thank you once again for coming on the show tonight. I love you, and I will talk to you soon.
It's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'll see you in a few weeks.
Yes, sir.
Cheers for now.
Thank you. Cheers for now.
Bye.
All right, guys. That was an awesome episode tonight. I'm super grateful that we were able to kick off Monstober going into our run up to Monsters Ball. We have some great guests lined up this month. A couple of course, online that we've been doing, a couple of face-to-face. You guys will just have to kind of keep tuning in to find out. As we said, if you guys are interested, I am really thinking about doing this Cunts Corner sticker because I think it would be fun. Got a few stickers that we need to kind of get lined up, and maybe we can just do it as a bundle package and kind of get some things going. So if you guys are interested, hit the comments, give us a like, give us a follow, share it out. We'll go from there. As for the rest of this week, tomorrow is the meet and greet for Big Whisker Revival. We will be there for at least a little bit tomorrow night. Definitely will be there all night Saturday for the actual competition, raising money for the Barracks Project. If you've not watched that interview that I just did with Taxi Bill a few weeks back, please do. It was probably one of the funnest ones I've done besides this one. We are going to have a blast, and we're going to be able to raise a lot of money for a good cause. With that, just like I said, going forward, we are going to go ahead and see who won the count. We do not know who won the cunt counter yet. I will be making a post either later tonight or first thing in the morning announcing the winner, and whoever wins will be getting a bottle of Valhalla. So if you get your name tagged, we will definitely go from there. So just bear with us on that. But I'm pretty sure I know who won, since our good friend Mr. Wallage, Mr. Chops, threw in quite a few right there at the end, and it should be a fun one to go with. All right, guys. Just like I said earlier, I'm going to kind of wrap up with something a little new, mainly because I heard it last night on What Up Mob Wednesday, and from Monty, Clink, or Chicken, whatever you want to call him, and then of course Boo. Big shout out to those guys for giving us a plug last night. I love those guys, and if you have not watched What Up Mob Wednesday yet, please do. Great show. Don't forget we got the Center show on Sitting on Sunday, and then of course Talking Beards, which I'm sure will be covering a lot of what happened at Big Whisker. That'll be usually on Monday. And then, of course, Craft Whisker as well. So there's a lot of shows going on right now. Before I forget, the Pack. The Pack's got their own thing going on, and they've got a competition coming up I want to say at the end of November, and they're doing it for human trafficking. Great guys. Definitely give them a follow, give them a shout. With that, though, I'm going to leave this off with the hashtag LEO, love each other. Mad love to everybody from Mad Viking Beard Club in Kentucky. And of course, my normal sign off, leave things better than how you found it, and always strive forward to leave a good legacy. Have a good night, guys.